finally arrived and the Invincible War happened. It was crazy. We gotta talk about it, which will include my rating, and this video will contain spoilers, so spoiler warning, 3, 2, 1. The episode starts off with showing us how Angstrom Levy survived after getting beat up badly by Invincible in last season, and in the condition, the way he looks, it's crazy how he survived. Day 1 of the Invincible War has started, and it's gonna get crazy. They start destroying the cities. Rex, after helping Ray move in, is like, oh, I gotta go help and deal with some stuff. And then our Mark fights Mohawk Mark at the prison and was able to beat him in their first interaction. And then at the end of day 1, after Cecil was able to stop one of the Marks, he says, we gotta call everyone. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I can't wait to see who's gonna be here in day 2. Day 2 of the Invincible War, and our Mark and Eve fight Omni Mark and Masked Mark, and it doesn't end well for them. And then Eve gets hurt. And there's a montage of all the other Marks fighting different cities, heroes, and fighting different characters. And one of them being, I believe, the Viltrum Mark fighting Wolfman. And then a lot of us thinking from the comics like, oh, where's Spawn? Oh, poor Immortal. Thank you for trying to stop the Marks, but it just seems like you can't win at all. And he loses to No Goggle Marks and dies, which is what we think. And then later in the episode, we find out that he's still alive, that they recovered him, and that he retires and wants to start a family with Kate because he's tired of losing. I said in previous episodes of this season that something's going to happen to Rex or Ray, and it seems like Rex sacrificed himself to stop one of the Marks, and he's dead. No! And then music starts playing and shows the aftermath of day 2 and so much destruction. Day 3 has started, and there are only 8 Marks left. And Angstrom meets up with them, and then all the Marks decide to turn against him and want to attack him, and then Angstrom sends him to a different dimension. I low-key would have liked to see Sinister Mark more in this episode. Not long after, we got our Invincible versus Angstrom, and that he was gonna kill him, but then somehow Angstrom was able to escape. But then when he goes back to the place where he came from, those machines are like, nope, we're no longer working for you, you work for us now. Stand ready for my arrival, worm. Conquest pulls up at the end, which a lot of us could have predicted or hoped it happened, that it did, but not long before this, Powerplex was still blaming everything on Invincible. Now I've seen some reactions to Conquest's appearance in the end of this episode, and I've seen a lot of mixed reactions. A lot of people think the quality in terms of animation, the way he looks, is not as good, or Jeffrey Dean Morgan being the voice of Conquest, which I'm seeing mixed reactions in terms of, you know, a lot of people don't like it or like it. I'm so used to his voice in the edits before this episode of the AI voice. I think it was like Josh Brolin or whoever. So when hearing his voice, I'm thinking it sounded a little bit off, but maybe I'll get used to it or more better, or I like it more in the next episode. Which I actually recorded my reaction to this moment, which I'm going to post later today. Here's an exclusive poster for episode 7, and my overall thoughts. I think that was a great episode. Great action. I'm happy with seeing all the Invincible in the war and stuff. Now, I'm not one to complain about the animation because I don't really have a problem with the animation. I just really like the story, so I don't even think about the animation. But maybe for the last episode next week that maybe you improve a little bit. I give episode 7 an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. I'm happy. What is your rating and overall thoughts after watching episode 7? And are you ready for next week? Stand ready for next week's episode. Oh!